the string instrument that encompasses the whole range of the human voice, from bass to soprano, which I always thought was a wonderful aspect of being a cellist. Nothing against the violin, of course. In terms of the cello's role, you know, we're collaborative beasts in the end, I think. Nearly all our repertoire involves collaboration of some sort. Of course, we have the cello concerti, the moments where we can be in the spotlight as the big soloists, but really, as the baseline of so many of these great works, in the classical and contemporary canon, you know, I think that's our primary role. Well, it's always this question, isn't it? You know, we're all so young when we start, so I think I probably quite liked it going to orchestral concerts of my father. But I started at the piano and I was hopeless at playing polyphonically, so I gave up, and I think everyone gave up on me quite quickly. But the cello seemed to suit me. You know, I took to it and enjoyed it, and I was lucky to have a very good first teacher, Wendy Max, who's still teaching. But it's a great fun to play the cello. You know, as I said before, in terms of the collaborative aspect, you often do things in groups. It's quite a gregarious instrument. You get to meet a lot of people as you get older through playing in trios and quartets and orchestras and whatever else you do, and that's always been a great feature of it. The Archduke is really sort of a monument to his middle period in a way, before he moved into the late style, Opus 97. A few opus numbers later, he was experimenting again with the beginnings of the late works, but it's a marvelously drawn-out, grandiose piece of music. It almost has an aspect of heavenly length to it in the slow movement, which is one of the greatest slow movements he wrote. But I think one of the most interesting things about the Archduke Trio is this very complex character that maybe each movement rather has. So, you know, it's not just a majestic first movement. There's all sorts of things going on. It takes a while to locate the essence of it, which is a fascinating task for us. You know, it's what makes music making so interesting. And when you have two other musicians of the caliber of Imogen and Henning to work the piece with, it's great. We've not played it yet, so the process still lies in front of us, and I'm really curious and excited about it. Well, I think they're more than fun, actually. I think he wrote 3 variation sets, Beethoven, and I would perhaps controversially suggest this is the masterpiece amongst the 3. The other 2 being Ein Mädchen oder Weibchen, the other Magic Flute set, and the Judas Maccabee variations of Handel. But these Beimennen variations it's really a masterpiece from beginning to end, and it's sort of typical Beethoven in the sense that you have this marvelous opening theme. It's about love, this piece. But the way that he goes through the different characters of each variation is quite unconventional and startling. You know, this beautiful lyrical theme, and suddenly this almost pompous first variation, spiky, strange, straight-jacketed character. It's sort of typical Beethoven. It sort of knocks you for 6 briefly. But each variation is a wonderful thing in its own right. It's a perfect form as a whole, and one of the great works he wrote for any duo combination, I think. I think there'd be so many arrangements of tango pieces for pretty much every instrument under the sun these days that you know, it's a fairly universal thing. But really, you know, there's no reason why one can't play the tango as well on a cello as on other instruments. Oh, we've got a great group. We've got Joanna MacGregor, wonderful Joanna on piano. We've got Martynas Levickis, fantastic Lithuanian accordionist. And we've got a wonderful percussionist, Adriano Adewale, as well, who will bring lots of different things to the group. And really, the idea is to go in different directions with this. So the central cogs, as it were, of Piazzolla and Ginastera, and then maybe going to slightly more unconventional nooks and crannies, a bit of Stravinsky perhaps here and there, improvisation, maybe a bit of Kurt Weill. We're still fashioning the entity of the program, but the idea is that there'll be a certain fluidity to it, and we'll go from composed tangos to improvisation sections throughout the concert. So I'm excited about it. I love trying things. You know, I'm a huge jazz fan, but I'm certainly not a jazz musician. I'm often rather skeptical of classical musicians who say they are. I've met maybe 3 or 4 brilliant musicians who combine the two things. But you know, being a jazz musician is such a art form, you know, its own right. But I like to try. I think I've taken my cello all over the place, really. I went to West Africa a couple of times. I did a program for Radio 4, actually, on Baba Mal and his world music festival called Blues du Fleuve, which is on the River Senegal, linking Senegal and Mauritania. It's an incredible 10 days, and ended up playing with him and his band, and things like that are fun, you know. It's exciting to try these things out.